I'm saying that it's a pleasure and an honor having you here, guys, from Countless Skies. We have James. You are the guitarist, isn't it?
Hey, yeah. So I just play
Lead
guitar.
guitarist, yeah.
Hmm.
And Ross, you have loud voices and
Yeah,
basses, is it?
yeah. So I
Yeah,
do like
thank you so
the
much.
rhythm guitar and the harsh grounding vocals.
Yeah, sure. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. We are huge fans from you here in Colombia. So
Yeah,
let's
thanks for having
start.
us.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, is it? I just want to confirm with you if your band's name became from a Villacor song from
Yes.
Stones Ridge. Yes, is it?
Yeah. So we were trying to. We had a different name before. Originally, we were called Hate Spire, but we
Yeah.
decided that didn't really fit the sound of our music, and it kind of sounded a bit too much like was it Hate Breed or Hate
Sphere.
Hate Sphere? That's it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. So we're like, no, we need to change it to something else, and we couldn't make our minds up. No one could decide, and someone's. So I had like an email address at the time, which was countless.skies@gmail.com, and someone said to me, "Oh, why don't you just use that as a band name?" And, well, not the email address,
Yeah,
And we were
it's
like, oh, we all like the sound of that, yeah, and it's a nod to one of our favorite bands. So yeah, let's just do it because we couldn't decide.
that's okay. No, that we love it too. So for sure, it's a good name for you. Second, I would like to know how Countless Skies was formed and how did you start to make your music?
Yeah. So well, the two of us, two here, me, Ross, and I, we got together in about 2009. That was the old band, and we just wrote a demo together. And when it came to recording that, we recruited Phil, who's now the bassist and clean vocalist in Countless Skies. He recorded the demo there and did some guest vocals. And after that, when we played live, that's when we got Nathan on drums. We also had a keyboardist when we were the old band, but once we played a few gigs, and then it didn't. After that, we sort of had other things going on, so we came back a couple of years later, started writing again, started demoing some stuff, and that's when sort of Countless Skies became a real thing around those 4 tracks that we put on our EP, our self-titled EP.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then it came your first record that it called New Dawn. How it was the recording process and how you do how's the process of recording and maybe the process of composing lyrics and music? How is it?
So I'm trying to think in what order is best to answer that. I think if we talk about how we wrote New Dawn first.
Yeah.
So originally, the way we used to write was that we would just come up with small ideas and record them, write them down somewhere, and then we would go through this collection of ideas and pick the ones that we like the best and try and flesh them out into entire songs. So back then, I think at least half of the album, if not a bit more, they all started off as these little riffs that we wrote together at some point in our bedrooms or each other's houses or whatever, and slowly formed it into the album that it became. So James will often go and take these ideas and flesh them out into full songs, and then we'll practice them at band practice, and then eventually, we got to the point where we wanted to do the whole album. So that's when we reached out to a guy called Danny Biggin. And he used to have a studio called HVR Studios in Ipswich, just down the road from where Danny Filth lives, actually, from Cradle of Filth. He knows it as well. Yeah. So we went and stayed with him for 10 days?
A week, I think. Oh yeah. I think it was 2 weekends. Yeah, and a week in between. Yeah. So,
and we recorded the album in that time frame. We worked through each instrument and vocals, etc., and broke it up over different days. It was really fun. It was a really good experience. We We stayed in. So it was like a little farm with some what do you call them? Like units.
Yeah,
word
yeah,
is really.
maybe.
And so there was an empty unit on the farm that was like a fish shop, I guess. Like, was it? Used to have like loads of fish tanks in it.
Like a cabin, like a cabin, something.
Kind of, yeah. But anyway, it was like an empty room, and we had air beds, and we slept in there. It was almost like camping, and we were all just in the same room together. So it was like a really fun experience.
And you came up together and do this stuff. Okay, that was with. Okay, yeah. And I know New Dawn has a good reception, but it came with a better reception with this masterpiece. Ooh. Low. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. How was the process between New Dawn and Glow?
It was pretty similar. Like we always kick things off with different ideas that we've come up with. Like I think most of the songs started with a riff that I took from something that Ross had written. Just little bits like Moon just starts with that rhythm guitar. That was something Ross came up with, that rhythm guitar, and then that just happened to build into a song. It's similar with Glow. That was an old that intro tap-in was something that Ross had come up with years and years ago, but it hadn't really gone anywhere. It was just that riff, and then as we were, we'd finished with New Dawn and we were playing shows, and that I was just sort of writing that one as we went, and it just sort of happened to build into like a 20-minute thing. But I think more on this album, there's like more. I don't know. They I don't know where I'm going with this thought, but like, I think there was a bit more like individual writing on this album.
Okay.
On New Dawn as opposed to on Glow as opposed to New Dawn, where New Dawn was like a lot more collaboration, a lot more ideas we come up with together.
That's okay.
Now for what we're writing now, there's a lot more collaboration than what we've had before, so it just sort of goes backwards and forwards, and there's not really one way we write.
Okay, that's just doing and putting it together, and that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was going to say we recorded Glow in a very different way as well, though, because whilst we recorded New Dawn over the course of that sort of like week and a half, it was a very short timeline. We had to get everything done in that time. With Glow, we ended up recording it in our own time, where we would go and visit James. So we did all the drums first in the studio, and then everything else we recorded at James's house. But we did it over the course of about a year and a half or something. It took a while.
Yeah.
Most of all, we were on pandemic time, so it was not that easy.
we wrapped up the recording in February 2020, which was like just the next month was when England went into lockdown. So we were lucky that we finished the recording then, and we could send it to Yuho from Sound Spiral. So he mixed and mastered the album. So we were lucky. We finished the recording like just in time. Otherwise, I don't know what would have happened.
Just before. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's really fine. Well, let me ask you about your instruments, James. You have a very peculiar guitar. You know, I think it's because you have to digitate close to one hand, very close to the other one. Why don't you speak about a little about your very special guitar?
Yeah, sure. So I'm left-handed, so the problem that I have with buying guitars is that I
I'm
can't
left-handed
really.
too.
You're left-handed. Oh, nice one.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I know.
Away with the left hand. Yeah. So the problem I have, and do you play an instrument as well? Yeah. If you play an instrument, I couldn't always go into a guitar shop and be like, I want to try all your left-handed guitars. They'd be like, oh, here you can try this one, like Stratocaster or something. So I was looking at customs because I knew that I could buy something exactly what I wanted, I reached out to Alexander Klaas of Klaas
Yeah.
Guitars. That's what that is. It's a Klaas guitar, and talked to him about what I wanted. He knew exactly what wood I needed, what pickups, scale length, like the whole thing. He was like, "This is what you need. I'll put it together." And even the case is made from the same wood as the guitar, which is a complete
It's a very
overkill.
special one, dude.
It is. It's it's unnecessary really, because it's just gonna get scratched up as we play, as we drive around.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's a really special guitar. I love it when I saw it. It's very nice.
Oh, cheers. It's a bit controversial. Some people
yeah.
don't like it.
No, it's what you need. You do the special thing with that, so it's what you need. Whatever
Yeah.
they think, it doesn't matter.